Hey everyone, checking in the next day here, and we're starting to prime. So I got everything in my spray booth here next to me. This is the primer I'm using here, Automotive Refinishes product by Acme with their hardener. And basically everything's measured in 4:1 ratio. So probably going to do about, I don't know, about half this cup, maybe a little bit less. I'm going to do the 3:3 here on this on 4:1 and see how that goes. And we'll put it in the spray gun and spray it, and we'll get in there and take a picture and show you the results for that. Definitely with this equipment, with this stuff, you want to use the proper equipment, so you want to make sure you have respirator and don't take any shortcuts when it comes to safety and with spraying with urethane paints, just because it's some bad stuff. Go ahead and get yourself a good respirator. And just remember that they do go bad, so go ahead and get you some new charcoal inserts there to filter the air out each time you paint, or every other time. Just depends on the time limit. Anyway, so with that disclaimer out there, we'll go ahead and mix these two. Yeah, make sure you wear gloves. Go ahead and mix these two and get it ready for painting, and then we'll show you the panels once I get the coat on there. And you can see the difference. They should dry in about a half hour, 45 minutes, but I'm not going to touch them until later on tonight, where I'll apply some finished Bondo and fill in some of the cracks. But let's get started. Okay guys, the tries are done, and I didn't really film that process because it's a little volatile having talking in a respirator and whatnot. So these guys turned out really nice. For the first primer coat, we'll go ahead and touch it up with Bondo, and we'll go forward from there. You can see there's 9 of them. I have an extra one here I have for my Von Jet frame that I'm working on. But they turn out well. I'm painting the circle panels right now. First coat just went on, so another 15 minutes I'll go ahead and place that on there, get them in here. I got the heater on in here because it is cold here right now. So I'm in my gazebo. Any place you can find a spot you can heat up, it'll just help this process out. So they'll just off-gas in here a little bit. They were outside off-gassing for a while. They don't smell bad at all now. So we'll just continue with the process with the circle panels, and hopefully later on tonight I can do some work. If not, tomorrow I'll go ahead and start prepping these a little bit more, and we'll get that process down on film for you guys. All right, on to the next.
Alright, so you guys can probably barely hear me, but I got the second coat on here. I'm probably going to do one more, and that way I can get a little bit more coverage so when I wet sand them. Cool stuff. So there's my air sprayer. Got my little spray booth here that's heated, and now that the sun is on here, it's actually better in here. So alright, moving on, another 15 minutes, we'll get the last coat on, and these guys will cure for the rest of the day.
Hey everyone, it's the next day, and we are here with our finished tries and our panel. And what I wanted to do is go over what I'm going to be doing as prep work with these two. I'll start off with the triangle. Now the triangles came out great. I typically only have to wet sand it down and then kind of fill in a little bit where I want to. I'm going to leave a little bit of these nick sections in here where you see it's a little, jagged, and it really adds to the weathering. What I'm really going to work on is that edge there. You can kind of see the valley in the light, and that's because they're one piece. They're printed like this. So I'll be able to fill that in with our Glazian spot putty in here with our tools here, and you can cut these any size you want. I have a couple of them that I actually cut smaller so I can get the detail work. And you'll use that more on these guys. Now, being printed in one piece, it really gives you the challenge of filling it in, because it prints a lot like the dome cap. Because you print the dome cap flat and it just goes around and around and around and around, builds up layers, and then you have that stepping effect when it comes to the print layers. So you typically see that a lot. And the primer filled it in really well. I mean, these are pretty bad, but nothing we can't fix and make it look smoothed out. So I'm up for the challenge. It's pretty It's good. I like doing these. So I'll go through this technique. I'll start doing it in sections. That way I can check it off where I'm happy with it or not, and do all 6 of these. And then the goal is, once they're all bondoed to the point where I like everything how it's filled, I'll just shoot 2 more thin coats of primer and hardener over that, and they'll be ready for paint. So, and we'll tackle those steps when we get there, but truly I just want to make sure I go through the steps here and at least give it a shot to get it as smooth as possible, and that way we can move on. Alright, so I got a lot of work ahead of me, and I'll go ahead and go at it. And what I'll do is, if I got some shots in between, I'll take those for you guys so you can see progress after that. Hey guys, it's the next day here, and I'm going to be cleaning out the lines here from where the Bondo filled in, and then I'm going to shoot another primer coat on this, and possibly just do another round of touch-up too as well, and then see what's left. If it's just minor imperfections, you know, then you know, I'll deal with it at that time. But right now I'm just going to clean out all the lines. I have the tries all done because they were pretty easy. But the panels are going to be the most work. So I'm going to go ahead and take out all the Bondo from the lines, pretty much getting in there with my razor blade and your little pick tools, and you just want to make sure you clean it out really well. And it's dust free, so when you go to do your next coat of primer, everything kind of lines up really well. I think we're going to see a big change from what we see here with this one. A lot of these lines and imperfections you see here will disappear, and then we'll just see some minor ones, and then we'll just assess if it needs another round of Bondo and primer. But I want to make sure it's looking really well for its first coat's a base coat, and moving on from there. Alright, so I'm going to be busy for a while cleaning these lines, and hopefully we can get these primed again today and I can get a picture for you. Hey guys, it's the following day and the primer is dried, and I couldn't be happier, to be honest with you. These one-piece panels were in rough shape when they were sanded down. You could see all the lines, but the proof is in the prep work and cleaning it up. And I really think it paid dividends here, and they all look fantastic. I couldn't be happier. With a few minor imperfections that can be pretty much hidden completely with weathering, but we don't even need to emphasize those because we really got some clean lines, flat panels, and we're going to do our taping here to prep for our paint. And what we're going to do is take our line paint here. So I got a couple different ones here. I got this green tape here. It's not frog tape, this is like automotive striping tape, and a couple different sizes. And I got blue fine line vinyl tape, which works well for all the bends and curves, and then a wider version of the green tape there. And basically what you want to do is make sure you have and this is the PDF off of the Von Jet page, where it really goes through all the colors and the lights too as well. So that way I can make sure that I tape off for the colors that I need. And I'm going to be taping off for each color individually. So looking at this here, I'm going to be doing white for everything because I'm going to paint the tries, I'm going to paint the panels, and I want to do all the base colors and then clear them. So I'll go ahead and tape all these off for white. I'll spray that base on and I'll clear it, so that's done and locked in. I won't have any paint pulls or anything because the base is locked in with its clear coat. So we'll do all the white first, and then we'll go to silver and then orange for the last, and then we'll make sure that everything looks great from that. And then it will be all solid and locked in with our clear. After that, we'll assemble the frame and see what we can come up with a scheme for some weathering possibly, and move on from that. But right now I'm going to be focused on the white and getting that sprayed on, and then I'll show you guys the results of that. So, and then take a few still pictures in between this process of taping it off. So one last thing before I get started is these have a fresh coat of primer on it, and I want to make sure the base coat bonds well, so we need to scuff it up. So we're going to use some 800 grit, and you can either wet sand it with 800 grit or you can dry sand it, and that way it gives it a texture for it to bond to. So just make sure you take that step in between primer and your base coating. That way you get a good proper bond there, and then tack cloth it and make sure that you get all the dust off from there. But I just wanted to make sure that I am doing that step to ensure that we get a good bond. All right, our panels are all painted white. We even have all the panels taped off, so it's just the white, and I have the clear coat on the white too as well, because with urethane base you need to clear each color. Otherwise, you run the risk of just pulling the tape off and the base comes with it. The triangles haven't been cleared yet. I have to go get some more. But all in all, a good day's work. And tomorrow, we can start taping off with the silver. All right, we'll see you on the next one.